Hey guys, welcome in. Today we're going to be cleaning and restoring some well-loved but extremely dirty and worn out Harley-Davidson boots. And did you guys know that you could restore deeply scuffed smooth leather like this? Well, stick around until the end to find out. Let's get to it. Hey guys, my name is Evan, where it's my goal to share the skills and tools needed to love your leather. Now as we look at this boot, it's pretty obvious how dusty, dirty, and scuffed up this boot is, and I wouldn't expect any less from a Harley-Davidson. These guys get the brunt of wear and tear since they're literally at the front of the line when it comes to riding. What we'll need to do is completely clean off any dirt and debris, resurface the scuffed portions of the leather, and finally bring back some pigment. Let's get to it. As I always say, the first and most important step to loving your leather is cleaning it properly and regularly, and the way to do that is using the appropriate cleaner. The one I use is ShoeMGK because it's affordable, versatile for all kinds of materials, and of course because it effectively gets the job done. Let's get to cleaning. Something that I didn't realize before I started my shoe cleaning journey was that there was a difference between cleaning a shoe versus restoring a shoe. And what I mean by that is that when you have a dirty and worn shoe, they are completely different things. One is caused by substances that accumulate onto the shoe, and the other has to do with the materials of the shoe themselves becoming worn or damaged. That means that a cleaner isn't going to magically restore your damaged shoe, nor is it wise to restore a shoe without first cleaning it. For example, if you add shoe cream onto dirt, it's bad for the leather and just would look horrible. So they definitely go hand in hand, and I do hope that this helps you determine what you'll need for your specific situation. This next part is completely optional. I just removed debris with a mini screwdriver from the outsole because it improves the tread grip as well as that it is super satisfying to get out. If I'm not alone, guys, let me know in the comments below. Wiping off those suds is super important because the suds from the cleaner is the very thing that lifts the dirt and debris from the leather, allowing you to capture that dirt before it dries back on the surface. All the while, the cleaner conditions your leather with all natural jojoba and coconut oils. It's a super neat idea that absolutely shows results. Do keep in mind though, if the dirt stays on the leather, it will dry out and may lead to cracking. Well, our cleaner did a fantastic job of removing all of that dirt, so much that it revealed some flecks of paint as well. But again, this cleaner is so versatile that it can even remove paint. The reason that it didn't get it on the first pass is because the brush is super gentle, which is exactly what most leather needs. However, if we're going to remove this paint, we just need to apply our cleaner to a cloth and gently rub the leather until the paint is removed. ShoeMGK recently removed all of the harsh chemicals like rubbing alcohol from their products to provide a more eco-friendly and sustainable product that's safe for your family. Additionally, I personally have to be very careful what cleaners I use on my bare hands because I suffer from eczema. So I've used other cleaners that leave my skin dry and itchy, but I've never had any issues with ShoeMGK. If you do have quite a bit of paint that you're trying to remove, I would cautiously suggest trying rubbing alcohol at your own risk to remove that paint as a last resort. Just note that isopropyl alcohol is volatile, which means that it may remove the finish of your leather, so just keep that in mind. I'm taking a second pass with our cleaner and microfiber towel because these nooks and crannies were hard for me to get to with the brush. I just want to make sure that this boot is as clean as possible. I wanted to make it a point to show you guys how easy it is for dirt and debris to hide in these hard to reach areas, but of course it is our goal to leave no leather unscrubbed. On top of that, if this dirt were to stay here over time, it would begin to break down the leather and potentially rip from the tension of the laces, so it's vitally important to thoroughly clean the dirt from your leather. Another vitally important tip for keeping all your leather pieces looking their best is to fill out the leather, and you can do that by using shoe trees, newspaper, or even plastic bags from the grocery store. The key is to fill out the leather just enough to prevent creasing, but not so much as to stretch out the leather. This way, you can prevent creasing and cracking, which enables you to get the most out of your leather products. Okay, I know you may be thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, sandpaper on leather, isn't that going to ruin it? But let me explain for a second. Leather is made up of fibers, and once it gets scuffed up and gouged from normal wear, it can look pretty beat up. So gently and lightly sanding off the top surface of the layer can help tone down those large blemishes. In the intro, I noted that we were going to resurface the leather, and this is how we're going to do it. Though I do want to note that it's not something you should do regularly because you will eventually end up sanding a hole through your leather. This is definitely an exception to the rule and only meant for restorative purposes. So go ahead and grab yourself some 2,000 to 3,000 fine grit sandpaper. You can even get away with gently using a nail file if that's all you have, and begin to remove the problem areas of the leather. I put a small sponge in between my paper because it allows the sandpaper to have a more balanced surface that can bend when you apply pressure. Something my wife taught me is that you can always remove more, but you can't always add back. So you can definitely use that sandpaper a little at a time while checking the smoothness with your finger to see if you're obtaining the feel and look that you're aiming for. When you've reached your desired smoothness, now it's time to fill in any deep gouges with some specially formulated filling paste. Now I've learned the hard way using this paste, and I want to make it easier on anyone watching this video. First off, you need to have something for the paste to grab onto, and what I mean by that is that if this paste is applied to a smooth surface, it's simply just going to peel off. So having some texture on the spot that you're repairing is vital. Secondly, it's best to only use as much paste as needed for the repair, meaning that this paste is not something that you should just spread around generously, because what will happen is that the thinner portions of the paste will eventually lift up and begin to peel the entire thing. So only use enough for the job and no more than that. Third and lastly, you absolutely need to let this dry for the allotted period of time, which is at least a few hours, if not 24 hours. If you try adding polish right away to shine it up, you'll end up just peeling the paste right off the surface. So those are my tips on using the paste, and I hope it works for you. Honestly, it may not come out the way you want it the first time. It didn't for me, which is completely fine, so don't feel afraid to clean it off and try again. Alright guys, we are almost done. One of the very last steps is adding pigment back onto the leather since it was so roughed up from normal use, as well as that we sanded it down. We're going to take some pigmented shoe cream, though you can use leather dye if you're more comfortable with that, and just go ahead and lather it onto all the leather portions in order to both re-dye the faded leather as well as to create a hydration barrier so that our leather stays nice and supple. In this video, I used a finger glove, but honestly, this shoe cream gets everywhere, especially if you're dyeing the entire shoe, so I'll be switching over to full-on gloves next time because my hands simply just got dirty anyways. You want to make sure that you really coat the entire leather, and once you do, thoroughly rub in the cream until it's dry. The shoe cream is definitely something that you can generously lather onto the leather without any fear of damaging it, so feel free to apply it at your discretion. Another quick thing to note is that if you have any metal hardware like this, it's non-porous, so you can easily wipe or brush off the cream afterwards. For our very last step, we are going to gently brush down the entirety of the leather on the shoe in order to spread the oils and waxes from our cream, as well as give the boot that like new shine. The best way to do this is to just barely hover over the leather with your brush, allowing the bristles to skim the surface in a vigorous back and forth motion, and that's it. If you guys have a specific way that you like to shine your shoes, let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, here is the final product, and I hope that you enjoyed the video as well as learned the skills and tools needed to tackle boots like these. At the end of the day, my hope is that you guys can become better stewards of what you own as well as save your hard-earned money from having to buy new shoes when you can easily restore them like this pair. I'm really happy with how these boots turned out, and I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks again to our sponsor, ShoeMGK. Definitely check out the discount affiliate link in the description below, as well as any other supplies seen in this video. I'd greatly appreciate if you would go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember to love your leather.